So, a few days ago, my book launched, and just before release, Amazon cancelled all of my pre orders. Every single one. I discovered there had been an issue with my KDP setup. Something went wrong behind the scenes, and by the time I caught it and got onto KDP support, the pre orders were already gone. And I just sat there staring at my screen thinking, okay, this is a story I'm going to have to tell. Welcome to the Right Podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Williams, best-selling romance author, book coach, and founder of Serenade Publishing. I've been an avid reader ever since I could hold a book, and I've spent a decade immersed in the world of writing, editing, and publishing fiction. I know firsthand what it takes to turn a love of storytelling into a sustainable, soul-aligned author career. Each week, I share real talk about writing fiction, marketing smarter, and staying inspired, along with up-to-date industry insights and the strategies that are working right now. You'll also hear from fellow authors, editors, and industry experts who are out there doing the work and making waves. Here, we put the woo in the work of writing, publishing, and growing your author business. Think of this as your creative business pep talk, packed with heart, hustle, and a little bit of magic. So get cozy and join me. Your writing journey starts now. Welcome back to the Right Podcast. I'm Sarah, and today we're going behind the scenes of one of the most chaotic and honestly most clarifying launch experiences I've ever had. This one is vulnerable, messy, and I think if you're building a writing career, it might be exactly what you need to hear. Before we get into the chaos, I want to introduce you to this book because honestly, I love it. And it deserves a proper introduction regardless of what happened around it. Heartbeat Song is my newest romance novel. It released on the 12th of April, and it's the direct sequel to Songbird. If you haven't read Songbird yet, first of all, what are you doing? And second of all, here's the one-line pitch. It's a Taylor Swift-inspired, high-drama, small-town cowboy romance. Think soap opera energy meets country music heartbreak. It is big feelings, big stakes, and genuinely one of the books I'm most proud of. Heartbeat Song picks up that world and deepens it. It's about a singer, it's about second chances, it's steamier than Songbird, it's richer, it's everything I wanted this series to grow into. And it is the book I've been writing toward for a long time. This is book 2 of what will be a trilogy. Our Song is planned for later this year, and I already can't wait to write it. I poured so much of myself into Heartbeat Song, and I was genuinely, deeply excited for this launch, which honestly made what happened with Amazon sting even more. Okay, let's talk about it, the Amazon situation. A couple of days before release, I discovered that all of my Amazon pre-orders had been cancelled. Not paused, not delayed, cancelled. I went straight to KDP support, and I want to talk about this for a second because if you've ever tried to connect to Amazon in a crisis, you'll know what I'm about to describe. Before I could get in front of an actual human being, I had to navigate through what felt like an endless loop of AI bots. Every response was automated. Every redirect sent me somewhere that didn't actually address my problem. It was frustrating and time-consuming and genuinely very stressful. And the whole time I was watching my launch window close in real time. It felt like shouting into a wall. Eventually, I got through to a real person and they were helpful. But by the time we'd worked through it, the damage was done. The pre-orders were gone. Now, if you're not a published author, you might be wondering, does it really matter that much? They're just pre-orders, right? Here's the thing. Pre-orders are not just sales, they are momentum. They are the signal Amazon's algorithm uses to decide whether your book is worth paying attention to. Every reader who clicked pre-order before your release date, that was social proof. That was someone saying, before this book even exists, I want it. Those numbers feed into your Amazon ranking. They go toward your launch week performance. They are part of what tells the algorithm this is a book that matters. Push it, show it to more people. When those orders disappear, so does that momentum. The algorithm essentially starts from scratch. And that's exactly what happened. My launch week numbers took a real hit. My rankings suffered. The kind of visibility I'd been building toward, gone. Or at minimum, significantly set back. It was a gut drop moment. I won't pretend otherwise. But here's what I will say, and this is the part that genuinely gave me comfort in the middle of it all. I was wide. Heartbeat Song was available on Apple Books, Kobo, Google Play, and other retailers alongside Amazon. And those platforms delivered. Sales were coming in. Readers were finding the book. And I remember thinking, if I had been Amazon exclusive, this would be a completely different and much harder story. The pre-order situation would have been the whole launch. Instead, it was one painful piece of a bigger picture. Being wide didn't save the Amazon situation, but it absolutely cushioned the blow. And it reminded me in the most concrete way possible why I believe so strongly in not putting all your eggs in one basket. But here's what I sat with. Once the initial panic had passed, the KDP issue, that was something I could address, something I worked to fix. But the way I'd structured this launch, that was entirely on me. And that's the part I actually want to talk about. Because if my launch strategy had been more diversified, if I hadn't put almost everything on one platform I don't own, one technical glitch would not have had the power to derail my entire launch. Amazon is a platform I don't control, and I had built my entire launch strategy around it. That's the lesson. That's where this gets interesting. I want to be honest with you here in the way I'd be honest with a coaching client, because I talk about being an author CEO, and that means owning your decisions, including the ones that didn't serve you. I did not plan this launch the way I would plan it now, with fresh eyes and a little more distance. There was no formal launch team or street team activated for this book. No group of passionate readers who'd been briefed, given assets, and invited into the excitement ahead of time. There were no ARCs, no advanced reader copies sent out in advance, which means there were no reviews waiting on Amazon and Goodreads on launch day. No early buzz, no readers posting about the book before it was even out. I was launching into silence in a way, and that silence is loud. There was no influencer strategy, no BookTok creators, no Bookstagram accounts who'd been seeded with early copies and had time to fall in love with the book and want to share it. Those communities are incredibly powerful, for romance specifically, and I simply didn't tap them. My email list of readers who I love, they didn't receive a proper countdown sequence. No cover reveal email, no character spotlight, no it's almost here message that builds anticipation and warms readers up. They heard about the book, but they didn't go on a journey with me toward launch day. Paid advertising wasn't running before release. I wasn't building awareness through meta ads in the weeks leading up to the launch, which means launch day felt like shouting into the void rather than dropping into a conversation that was already happening. And my Shopify store, my direct sales channel, the one I actually do own, wasn't the centerpiece of my strategy. It was an afterthought, which is backwards. And underneath all of it, I was in creation mode right up until release. I was still finishing the book, still in writer brain, still deep in the story, and launch is a completely different muscle. It requires strategist brain, business owner brain, and I hadn't made the switch in time. And if I'm being fully honest about the context, this has been an enormous year. I've been building the business in multiple directions at once, creating the Author CEO private mentoring program, which is the most expansive coaching offer I've ever built, getting German translations of my work ready for Rare Berlin, which is just a couple of weeks away now, running this podcast, running Serenade Publishing, running my life. There was a lot on the plate. The creative work, the book, was where I was pouring the most of myself, which is not an excuse, but it is context. And I think a lot of you listening will know exactly what it feels like to be stretched across everything at once and still trying to show up for the work you love the most. I've coached authors through their launches. I know what a well-planned launch looks like. And somehow, when it came to my own book, I was so focused on finishing the story that I didn't leave enough runway for this strategy. I think a lot of us do that, and I wanted to name it out loud because I think it's more useful than pretending it didn't happen. Okay, so our song later this year, and this time I'm going to learn from this experience, and I'm building the launch before I finish writing the last chapter. Here's what this will look like. ARC team. 8 to 12 weeks before launch, I'll be building and reaching out to an advanced reader copy team. I'll use BookFunnel to distribute digital copies, and I'll personally invite readers who I know love this series. The goal is simple: reviews live on Amazon and Goodreads on day one or even before. Real readers, real responses, real social proof before the book is even publicly out. That's what changes the launch week experience. BookTok and Bookstagram. I'm going to research and genuinely connect with mid-tier creators. That's typically in the 10 to 100,000 follower range, who read steamy small-town romance. I'll reach out personally, send them a physical ARC or a digital copy 4 to 6 weeks out, and I won't ask for a guaranteed post. I'll just offer the book genuinely and let the right creators find it and share it. The ones who love it will want to talk about it. That's how it works. Launch team. A small, passionate group of real readers who love the Songbird world and want to help. I'll give them graphics, captions, countdown assets, and early access. It'll feel like a VIP club, because it is. These are the people who make launch day feel electric rather than lonely. Meta ads. This time, I'm starting 4 to 6 weeks before release, not just on launch day. Awareness ads to romance readers by interest, lookalike audiences from my email list, retargeting people who have visited my website. Even a modest budget, run consistently over weeks, outperforms a big spend crammed into launch week. I know this, I just need to actually do it. Email launch sequence. My email list deserve a proper countdown, and next time they'll get one. A sequence might look like cover reveal to character spotlight or excerpt, to it's almost here, to launch day email, to review reminder a few days post-launch. Warm, personal, story-driven, not a sales funnel, a conversation. My Shopify store. This is the channel I own. Higher margins, my reader data, no algorithm to fight. Next launch, my store is the hero. I'll offer a signed copy, a bundle with Songbird, something readers can only get directly from me. Podcast guest appearances. I'm a podcast host. I have that credibility. Next time around, I'll be pitching myself as a guest on other romance adjacent and writing podcasts in the 4 to 6 weeks before launch. It's one of the most natural ways to reach new readers, and it's something I can genuinely offer. Series branding. And finally, and this one matters a lot for me, I'm leaning hard into the continuity. Songbird to Heartbeat Song to Our Song. The launch of each new book is an opportunity to bring new readers to the beginning. So when Our Song launches, I'll run a price promotion on Songbird during launch week. Readers who discover the sequel can easily start from book 1. The series sells itself if I give it the chance to. None of these are complicated ideas. Most of them I know inside out. I teach them. The difference next time is that I'm building the launch strategy before I finish writing the last chapter, because a book without a runway is just words sitting in the dark. Let me bring this back to you. If you're working on a book right now, or even just dreaming about one, I want you to think about this. The launch doesn't begin on release day. It begins the moment you know what you're writing. The readers you're building a relationship with right now through your email list, your social media, your community. Those are the people who will make your launch day feel like an arrival rather than a gamble. Build that relationship first. And please, please don't put everything on one platform you don't own. Amazon is powerful. It matters. But it is not your business. Your email list is your business. Your direct store is your business. Your reader relationships are your business. Build in multiple places. Create a launch that can absorb a setback and still find its readers. I know this. I've always known this. And this launch reminded me, gently, loudly, a little humblingly, that knowing and doing are two different things. Heartbeat Song is out in the world now, and I love it. Amazon chaos and all, this book exists, and readers are finding it, and that's not nothing. That's actually everything. But I'm already thinking about Our Song differently. I'm already building the runway. If you want to grab Heartbeat Song, and if you love steamy, emotional, small-town romance, I think you will, head to my Shopify store first at sarahwilliamsauthor.com. The link is in the show notes, and you can get it directly from me. If you prefer Amazon or another retailer, those links are there too. If you haven't read Songbird yet, now is the perfect time to start from the beginning. And if any of this resonated with you, if you're an author who's been in creation mode and hasn't quite made it to launch mode yet, I'd love to talk. The Author CEO is my most intimate coaching offer, and it's designed for writers who are serious about building their career with intention and strategy. You can find out more and apply at serenadepublishing.com/the-author-CEO. If this episode was useful, I'd be so grateful if you left a review or shared it with a writer friend. It genuinely helps this show reach more people. Thank you for being here. I'll see you next week on the Write Podcast. Thanks so much for listening to the Write Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, it would mean the world if you'd leave a review and share the show with your writer friends. It helps more creatives find their way to us. And don't forget to follow Serenade Publishing on Instagram and TikTok for more writing tips, publishing advice, and exciting events to keep you inspired. Keep writing, keep dreaming, and know that I'm here to support you every word of the way.